Welcome back to Outdoors with the Morgans. It is another beautiful day today here in Pennsylvania. Just a perfect fall day. I've mentioned many times before, this is my favorite time of year. It's just absolutely beautiful. But I tell you what, I have been this close to starting my first fire in the building. It's been getting down to the 40s, low 40s at night, but you know, it warms up to about 60 in the afternoon. And we have that Mr. Cool mini split in the building, which has heat as well. So I run that for maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours in the morning, and then you're pretty much good till the next day. But I have talked about it before. The building, the insulation is the key in that thing. The wood stove heats the entire building, and that's when it's real cold. But for these tweener days, we're using the mini split. But if I were to do it all over again, I would, without a doubt, build a barn dominium style home. I would, no question about it. I would do a different foundation than what we did on our building, probably a regular poured wall foundation, then build off of it. But it is so energy efficient. That building's almost 3,000 square feet. Heat the entire thing with Regency wood stove. It's the big one. And I cool the entire building with one 36,000 BTU mini split. It's amazing. You don't have any ductwork in those buildings. You can put walls wherever you want them. I've been thinking about that. I see these people building new homes. It's definitely slowing down though around here, but they're building these new homes like everybody has for the last 40 or 50 years. And I don't know if I'm missing something or what. I don't know why more people don't build barn dominium style homes. No idea. If it were me, that's what I'd be doing. But anyway, I don't know how I got on that subject, but we have a busy day planned today. First thing on the agenda, we have a whole probably 10 minutes worth of work to do down here on my sister's driveway. If you remember the other day, I got about 4 tons of 2B limestone, and I spread it through this area right here. It looks nice right now because it has been very dry. But in the wintertime, this section always turns into a big mess. There's a lot of clay through here for about 200 feet. I got the ditches all done, so we're able to keep the water off the driveway. But all I need to do right now is take a little bit of this stone right here down the driveway. It's probably about 2.5 inches thick here, and I need some more down there. So we're gonna hit it with the land plane real quick. Won't take long at all. And this driveway, I think I mentioned it the other day, it is in the best shape it has been in the last 50 years. I have some piles of dirt on both sides, not hurting anything right now. Next time I'm down this way with the excavator, I'll take care of that. But besides that, it's going to hold up really well this winter. All right, that is beautiful. Now, the reason that I used 2B limestone on this is this. I know since there's a lot of clay in here, once this gets wet and we start getting rain and snow, that stone is going to kind of pack down in. That's why I use 2B limestone, which is clean rock. It doesn't go down to dust like 2A limestone or Crusher Run. I get a lot of questions about that, what stone I would recommend for someone's driveway. It's hard to say unless I'm there and can look at it. But 3 things to think about. If you're building a new driveway, this is just my opinion, but it has worked for me. Say you're building a new driveway, I would put geotextile down first, what we call a number 3 rock, clean rock about that big. Put that over top the geotextile, and then 2A limestone on top of that, which is 1.5 inches down to dust. We call it 2A in Pennsylvania. West Virginia, they call it crusher run. So that would be for a new driveway. If you're just doing repairs on a driveway and you want to smooth it up and you have a pretty decent base, I would use 2A limestone. It's nice to be able to shape it and grade it so that your driveway is nice and smooth. And since it goes down to dust, it packs in really well, especially like on hills. You know, if you put this 2B limestone on a hill, clean rock, and it's not going to pack in, you already have kind of a hard surface, you're going to spin out on it, it's going to roll off to the sides and things like that. So that's why I like to use 2A limestone. Only time I use 2B is kind of like a tweener when you don't want the big rock, the number 3 rock. You can still drive on it and it works pretty well in the right situation, but I don't like using it on hills when you already have a hard surface, because like I say, it's just going to roll off to the sides, it's going to wash down the driveway, you're going to be spinning out on it. But that's about all I can say about that. So now I'm going to head up to the house, get on the excavator, and we're going to head out in the woods and do some work on the road coming from the clearing in the woods back to the house. In other words, we're going to go knock some trees down and try to get a little progress done on that project. Today's video is sponsored by Anchor Solix. Anchor Solix is the sub-brand of Anchor that focuses on providing energy solutions for the consumers. And I couldn't ask for a better sponsor for today's video, and you'll understand why in just a little bit. Anchor just introduced the new Anchor Solix F3800. It's a large capacity storage device for your house, or in my case, my cabin. The base unit has 3.8 kilowatts of storage. Maximum expandable capacity rises to 53.8 kilowatts. You can charge it with solar panels or plug it into the wall. It has a 6,000 watt output capacity, which could power your home or cabin for long periods of time. This thing is way more than just a standalone battery that you plug things into. You can wire it right into your panel with their home power panel. It supports AC coupling, which means you can connect the solar setup and the grid. That way, as the power cycles go up and down in your house or your cabin, it knows if it should draw more power from your grid or your solar setup. There's also an app for your phone. I mean, there's an app for everything, but I think this one would be pretty useful, because with it, you can connect to the Anchor Solix F3800 and you can monitor the electricity going in and going out, plus a whole lot more. So like I said, it is 6,000 watts and provides you with both 120 volt and 240 volt dual voltage output. You can even charge your EV with it if you have one, which I don't. It also comes with an RV port, so you could power your RV with this thing. Now, the reason I said this is the perfect sponsor for today's video is this. I am actively looking for a power solution for our cabin in West Virginia, and I think this may be the ticket. Join the Anchor Solix F3800 Kickstarter, and you can get up to a 35% discount and additional benefits. Link in the description, pinned comment as well. Here on the little clearing in the woods, and I'm just kind of getting started on the road. I guess this would be the clearing and grubbing phase, which to me means getting rid of the trees, the roots, the stumps. I'm gonna leave the topsoil for now, but just get it cleaned up and get a path about 20 feet wide at least from here all the way to the house. It's gonna take a little time, but I have kind of an opening. Right behind the excavator there is one big oak. It has to come down, but there's kind of like a tree line right here. You got big oaks from there down. They're all gonna stay. And then I've got some smaller ones, some maple and cherry up. They're all gonna go. And we'll have a nice road straight back here, take us over to the house and then down to the wood yard. All right, so this tree here, it's not the biggest one that I have to take down, but it is the biggest one at least for the next couple 100 feet. This one's gonna take some time. I don't want to cut it down because it's leaning the wrong way, and I'm trying to prevent as much collateral damage as I can. So what I want to do is dig this one out, loosen all the roots here, and then push it right down the roadway that I started behind me. And in order to do that, I like to take a whole bunch of roots out so this thing's barely standing and I can get it to go exactly where I want. Because what happens sometimes, if you don't get all the roots, you'll start pushing and you think everything's going the way you want, and it'll turn on you. Gotta watch when they turn on you, and it'll crash down somewhere you don't want it to. Boy, we need rain. Not very often do I say that, but I'm looking at this dirt I'm digging up here. It is just powder. Nothing to it. But yeah, the sponsored portion of this video is over, but I have been actively looking for a good power solution for the cabin. And you know, I was thinking some type of battery bank and use the generator. I got one of those Honda generators. You know, you could run the generator as needed and charge the battery bank simultaneously. But this anchor thing that I'm looking at packs a lot of power. You know what I mean? That cabin, it's not going to take much at all. We're going to have a little pump for the water, but that doesn't run very often. A little jet pump. Same one that I have in the building. Some LED lights. We're not going to have air conditioning. I don't even think we're going to have a refrigerator. We may put a small one in there, but I think when we get down there, it'll primarily be just take a cooler with you, because when you leave, you know, you're going to have to get all the food out of the fridge anyway. We're getting this one side pretty good here. Yeah, the next 5 or 6 after this, they'll come right down. This one here, it'll take a little bit of work. Okay, we're gonna work this side now. I always like to keep my eye on the tree too. There's a fine line between taking enough of the roots and taking too many, if you know what I'm saying. I mentioned the other day I have a cold. I feel fine. I still have a bit of a cough, which is no fun living with Hunter Morgan, I'll tell you that. I have no idea why, but Hunter does not like at all when you cough. I don't know if it startles him or what, but he will let you know. So what you find yourself doing, you sit there and try not to cough for 5 minutes, and that just makes things worse. Then you do, and he yells. All right, we're gonna take a few more passes on this side. Into some nice shale right there and some big roots. And we'll take a few on this back side before we move over there, because this is the side that I'll be pushing from over here. I don't think the tree's really moving at all yet. I'm kind of surprised. Let's get over there and give it a little push, see if we got anything happening. No action yet. There is a maple out there that I was gonna try to save. I don't know if it's gonna be possible or not. This one may smash right into it. Problem is I got an oak here right behind me that I'm gonna save, and I can't really line up on this one the way that I want because of that oak. We'll take a few more roots off this low side. I'll be glad when this one's on the ground here. This one's, I'm not sitting the way I'd like to be sitting, kind of leaning. Yeah, there's some big roots right there. That's what's holding it. Man, that thing is not moving. Can't figure it out. I'm like dug all the way around it. You want to talk about stubborn? Look at that. I am dug all the way around that tree and probably 2.5, 3 feet deep. This dirt right here, that's all loose. There was nothing in there, but I think I'm just about there. Unfortunately, I think there's going to be a little collateral damage here. That one maple out there, it's going to have to go. I mean, there's no way. The top of this one is just bigger than, it's bigger than the opening that I'm shooting for, you know what I'm saying? Wedged right in that maple. Look at that. I did not want that. That one was definitely a stubborn one, for sure. And I just talked myself into this, but that maple, it needed to go anyway. It was kind of borderline. It was like a tweener. All right, so I got this big one down, and it's going to be smooth sailing for about another 150 feet. Then I get into a few more big ones. But anyway, right now I have another firewood delivery to make. We are just about sold out for the year again. I think I have about 3 full cords left, you know, besides what we use. So that's a good thing. But every year I tell myself I need to get a bigger supply because we always sell out. But we're set up pretty good now. I don't think that's going to be a problem. But anyway, I think that's about it for today's video. I appreciate you all being here. And also, if you want more information on the Anker Solix F3800, link in the description, pinned comment as well.